Hello and welcome once again to one of my circle walks on the Peddars Way. Today we're on walk 5 and we're heading towards North Pickenham. Now in this little 1987 book, unfortunately the Peddars Way is just up the course of the Peddars Way. So the actual walk itself was along tarmac roads to South Pickenham and North Pickenham. But we're going to do a slightly different route. We're actually going to follow the actual Peddars Way walk all the way to North Pickenham, see what's around that area and come back again. Well, we just stopped on the side of the road next to the 1078 Watton Road, Watton to Swaffham direction. We're going to follow the Peddars Way, which is part also of the cycle route. Okay, we're just parked beside the 1078 Watton Road and we're now heading along a lovely little side track right beside the main road, which is very busy this time of the morning on a Sunday morning. In the distance is the round tower of Frexton Church. We saw this on the last walk. Now this area is once the site of a Romano-British settlement that grew up beside the Peddars Way. Well, we just come off the main road to go down this sort of side track towards Little Cressingham, and beautiful little wooded area here. Well, I've just left the village of Little Cressingham. Not a lot to see apart from a few houses there. Now on a tarmac lane, lovely little quiet lane, but just to the left on the outskirts of the village I can see the remains of a windmill. So I'm just going to go down the footpath beside there. I don't think it's a public footpath, but it's right beside the field. I'm just going to wander down and have a look, see what you can see. Well, nestling beside the water there is a wind and water mill, just behind the old fir tree, and the water there is part of the Little Wissy. Right, back on the road again. Right. and of course the big skies of Norfolk. Well, we're now at the crossroads of Great Cressingham and Tony, so we're going to go straight over carefully because it's a busy little road and follow the lovely lane ahead of us. And we're still following the actual Peddars Way route and following the acorn symbols for the National Trail. Now crossed over the Great Cressingham Road, which leads also to Tony, and we're now on this beautiful tarmac lane. I don't think you get too many cars coming down here because in the centre of the road there's some grass. We've got lovely grassy verges and some wildflowers around, and some wild parsley as well. And the road ahead looks very, very long. Well, I wonder what fate come to this poor old tree. It could have been struck by lightning or maybe died of old age. There are actually branches which are living on the left hand side of it. Beautiful spring leaves look stunning against the blue sky. Well, this is a beautiful little spot. I can hear deer in the background barking for their mates, and lots of little birds singing away. So we're close to a bridleway, we're not far from South Pickenham, so I'm going to stop for my lunch here. It's now 12:30. And this is a snake skin. I just popped into a little field next to the footpath to see where the little footpath went, to see if there's any wildlife, and come across this snake skin laying on the floor. I'm assuming it's a grass snake. Quite a long one. It's about 16 inches long. Well, we're close to South Pickenham now, and just behind the tree there's just the odd glimpse of Pickenham Hall. Quite a very old hall with very tall chimneys. Oh, it's been a long, tedious trek along the tarmac road, and we're now going to turn off to the left. Afternoon. Couple of cyclists, get quite a few cyclists on this route. Anyway, we're now going to turn off the tarmac road and go down a little field track behind the hedge on the left. So we're on a bend, we're now heading towards North Pickenham. Behind us, I can't see it at the moment because of the tall hedges, but there's the ruins of an old church called St Mary's. So let's get on our way behind the hedge and off this road. Of course, you see the sign, don't miss it. So we've got 1¼ miles to go to North Pickenham. And Little Cressingham is 3¼ miles back. Seems a lot longer on this tarmac road. And a nice field track all the way down there. And we've got lovely views. And the wind turbines ahead. Modern day windmills, but I much prefer the older ones. That's heading towards Castle Acre way. Oh, sorry. That's heading towards Swaffham. Well, I've walked behind the hedge here now, with two little sections, and then you get to this next section, you can go onto the road, but the Peddars Way turns immediately left. There are no visible signs for the Peddars Way, but go down beside the hedge and the field there. Yeah, so this little bit could be a little bit confusing for you. It confused me for a minute because I went straight onto the road. But now we come to this section, we go immediately left on the track, and the path will zigzag down, so we're going down into the valley towards the River Wissey. Our footpath continues along this lovely little valley path all the way to North Pickenham, right beside the River Wissey. And here we have some sunbathing piggies. Ah, now, a few steps and our first gate. There we go, first gate. Now we come down to this little field, and it looks like we go across that little footbridge in a minute, crossing the little stream, or might be the river. Oh, here's a delightful little stretch of the River Wissey. Oh, this is the highlight of the walk. After all that tarmac road work, this was brilliant. This is our final destination for the day, is the village of North Pickenham. Well earned rest. Well, this little seat is given in memory to R.G. Warner, 1892 to 1975, and J.N. Warner, 1928 to 1999. So of Manor Farm, North Pickenham. This is where I am at the moment. It's a welcome seat for walkers and anybody else who wants to walk past here. Now, it's been a very interesting walk. Lots of tarmac. The nice bit is right near North Pickenham when you're walking across the water meadows there. I've walked around the village. The pub is actually closed, not for sale. There are no shops. The only refreshment you'll have on this walk is the one that you bring with you. So it's a linear walk all the way from Little Cressingham, which is about 5 miles away, and now just walk back to where you started from. Unfortunately, I'm not doing it as a circular walk because you'd end up walking around all the little old lanes and probably a lot more traffic. So I'm going to follow the Peddars Way back, all the way back to Little Cressingham, and I'll see you on the next walk where we're tackling the Palgrave area. Cheers!